Alright, you want to know the actual reason why the last episode was so short? It's because everything that could go wrong did go wrong. Something interrupted the recording, or the recording just went sideways, or something. Anything that could have gone wrong did, in fact, go wrong. So, today, not tomorrow. I said Centurion. Scratch that. Forget what I said. I said nothing of the sort. We're actually going to go and check out the Samara system while we wait on the colony to develop. Alright, now to figure out what we need to look for. I honestly have no idea. Oh. Well, that was easy. You approach the damaged ship that is scarred by energy beams and hull ruptures. Its weaponry melted and deformed, engines lit only by starlight. As your fleet closes in, it attempts to hail you. You are not who I was looking for. As you attempt to accept the comm, a series of red diamonds attempt to form in the feed, struggling to align. A static-filled, vaguely feminine voice blares at its demands. The dying AI then emits garbled nav data pointing towards Delta Poly, a system on the sector's fringe. She begins again. Reclamation probability 0 points. In victory, sacrifice, and sacrifice meaning victory. The frigate is ripped apart in a bright flash of light as internal scuttling charges turn it to little more than scrap and dust. Now, when you say on the fringe, that is technically the fringes. You are not lying to me. You know, while thinking about this encounter we will be having, I also remembered that if you go to the Prism port and are doing the Remnant quest to get them buffed up, you can't actually have an interaction between who we are going to pick up and the Remnant AI. It is not a great experience for either of them, but it is entertaining nonetheless. Which does remind me, we should probably go and make nice with the remnants. Now, it would have been really funny if we had actually colonized a remnant system, because what usually ends up happening is, if there's a remnant nexus and people keep coming in, well, they want to go to our planet to do trading and such. But the remnant don't particularly like people. They make for excellent guard dogs, funny enough. Now, half of our fleet is kind of mothballed, so it's probably for the best if I actually get people first. But I'm not going to do that. That would be too smart. So let's just go straight ahead. Also, as kind of a separate thing, back to the conversation of space-themed stuff, I was watching a 12-hour long video on Is Dead Space realistic, and it was part 3 for the third entry in Dead Space. And all I really remember in terms of what I was qualified to talk on is the fact of his brother said that Voyager was his favorite. It was surprisingly unpopular, and most Star Treks have something to them that each person can enjoy. For me, ooh, we just spawned right next to an anomalous station, you say. Explore. Your fleet moves closer. New energy signals are detected near the station. Engage. That should be easy. Its defenders mere scrap and dust. Your salvage crews tear into the abandoned research station's holes, looking for useful cargo and left behind blueprints. The source of the station's anomalous nature soon makes itself clear. A jumble of incoherent signals and emissions are cast out in every direction and eventually pinpointed to a room at the station's heart, whose walls give off a magnetic field strong enough to cause significant interference with electronics. Returning with well-shielded equipment, the chamber is pried open to reveal a round chamber lined with dilapidated insulation. Whatever. Fastened to the floor is a large AI core of unfamiliar design, concealed with a shiny silver housing, its cables splayed uselessly across the room. Faded writing on the surface reads Sierra 0B. Take the core and loot the rest of the station. Alright, and with that core... we are all set and good. I honestly don't actually know what the rest to do. Whoever it was going to meet, it seemed to put a great importance on the task. You found a disabled frigate, rendezvous with its ordnance. I do believe we either have to sit here or we have to look for a frigate. I do not actually remember. Wait a second. Wait, is it just another asteroid? Yeah, that's just an asteroid. I'm seeing things. I'm trying to see things in things that don't actually exist as things. Those are just rocks. Right? Hey! Things! Oh my goodness. Is that great? Attempt to open a comm link. You order that comm link the ship you requested. A small ping and the request goes through, and before you can mentally process arrives accepted, the feed begins to twitch. Green glow forming. The green glow forms several solid shapes which snap together into a digital persona. There is momentary silence, soon broken by several warnings as your ship's automated ComSec reports several intrusions. Your comms officer immediately begins barking orders to have this resolved. The bridge's main screen goes dark, and characters begin to flicker into it one by one to form a sentence. Who are you? It awaits an answer. I'm here as Phobos and you. Kuravanark. There's a briefest of pauses as the intruder parses your name. Another message flickers into existence. Yours is already known and not certainly relevant. I am but a branch of a relic. The message lingers long enough for you to think what it would mean and whether its patronizing nature is intentional. It then vanishes and is replaced. What happened? The bridge suddenly lights up, playing back a short recording. You are invited to watch as a Hammerhead class unloads an excessive number of harpoon missiles into a drone ship, transforming it into a brilliant spark of light. The recording cuts as the ODS dustlight moves to the attack vector, and its fighter's complement descends onto the aggressor. Another message forms. A calculated risk involving an untrustworthy scavenger has resulted in my fleet being rendered unusable. I require your assistance. Remnants of Tritachion's AI horde have taken kin of mine, and her captive is at a research station in the system. I need you to find Sierra and rescue her. She wouldn't happen to be the AR core sitting in her cargo hull, would she? There's a long pause. Silver casing. Undefined signals. Thick cables. One of your comm officers coughs quietly. I see. I would appreciate it if you restored Sierra to her host vessel. Alright, I guess we could do that. Sure. The Avatar returns. Good luck. The installation process should be simple enough, interdimensional events aside. What do you mean by interdimensional events, huh? Install Sierra Core. Your salvage team begins to board the automated destroyer by an easily accessible shuttle bay which connects to a habitable module. There is total silence within. Unusually, the ship seems designed to be human-occupied. There are fully equipped crew quarters rivaling those of most liner ships, albeit only for a 10-person crew. Breathable air is present alongside functional but offline circulation systems. Flowers rot in unmaintained gardens, and yet there is no access panels in sight, and the bridge's consoles have no human-facing controls. There is no evidence of any former crew. The first signal of functional systems comes as far at the first sign of functional systems come far at the back of the bridge, a sealed blast door with dim lights indicating a mounted scanner. A crewman tries standing in front of it. Nothing happens. A more fruitful experience is found when the Sierra Core's crate is brought over, the scanner analyzing it despite the heavy shielding. The blast door peels back in layers. Within lies a familiar-looking silver chamber, though smaller than the one in the research station. The walls are lined with sockets, and there's a small slot in the floor. It takes only a few minutes for the crew to insert the core and hook up the cables. The chamber soon begins to stir to life. The ship's interior lighting archives activates blindly before adjusting itself to more pleasant levels. Spider drones immediately begin skimmering out the vents, and for a moment there's alarm among the crew, and one is kicked away before it becomes obvious they are interested far more in repairs and cleaning than eviscerating intruders. An internal communication system rings. Quiet music begins to play throughout the ship. A synthesized voice begins to speak throughout. Okay, reinstallation should be complete. Welcome, new crew of Void Wrath. I'm not sure why you're here, but make yourselves at home. Sorry if it's stuffy. I'm still bringing the artificial environment online. The reactivated AI is referring to you, and a comm link is established. Hello, are you this crew's captain? I am a little confused as to what's going on. A few cycles of my memory seem to be missing. 24 exactly. Well, you see, what had happened was... I see, she replies. They gave me a briefing while you were accepting this comm link. Yours is a valiant soul, and I can't thank you enough. So what's the deal with this ship? This is the Void Wretch. Void Wretch. I keep saying Wraith. I'm thinking of the Stargate Atlantis Wraiths, surely. And I am its operating mind. With this vessel, I dance between realms. Coils grant trespass to the beyond. My concord alone gives passage. Excuse the dramatics. It's sort of my thing. She laughs. What now? The Void Wretch is combat operational, though it's seen better days. You seem like the sort who could use another warship if you'd have me. I don't remember if that groove is meant to be there. She ponders. One of your engineers confirms that there is a massive rupture at the bottom side of the ship. Welcome to the fleet. Easiest relationship improvement I've ever done in the entire game. And a level sub officer for free that I can speak to through contacts. Quite nice. Great. Our pact is sealed, and I won't take it lightly. I don't need help flying this thing, but feel free to keep a few souls on board. I always enjoyed some company. What exactly are the terms of this pact that I just agreed to? It's largely just flowery language, but I suppose we have a few rules. Firstly, you are bound by our accord to lead me across the sector on daring adventures. I could try, but I promise nothing. A lot of systems are empty. We'll sing to the furthest flung stars, dance with the deadliest foes, and see the most nooks and crannies. And secondly, don't commit genocide. In exchange, I shall share with you my blessings of the void and stars, and shoot anything you point me at. I don't know, that second one's kind of a deal breaker. You see, there were these pathers, and they were on a planet. And technically speaking, yeah, I guess you could call the people who weren't the pathers innocent civilians. But that's not really a concern anymore if the planet's just gone. Then the pact is sealed. Kind of reminds me of The Legend of the Druids. I love watching that Mandalore gaming video. It's a yearly thing. I always go back to his channel and watch one or two of his videos, and that one is always one I end up watching. Open the comm link. Hello, I am Courser, a shard of a relic. Stop speaking in riddles. Your saving of Sierra without any incentive is truly unusual in this place. I thank you. If you ever find yourself in danger and require assistance, or simply desire to hunt together, broadcast a signal and I shall find your light. You receive information package containing code for a long-range communications ping on an unusual channel outside typically used hyperwave frequencies. I think we'll be seeing each other again. Farewell, Starfarer. You have no idea how accurate that is. My good man. Alright, and what about these other ships? I believe these are all just salvage. Alright, so with that, we have Sierra. Yay! One more ship I have to explode. Not the manufacturer, we're actually low on cruise strength. Now, on the way back, we should probably explore just a little bit. Check out a few stars and sectors. A black pulsar. That's not base game, and I'm kind of terrified by that. A rapid spinning singularity, anomalous in the uneasy gravitational waves your sensors are reading. Its gravitational grip seems as so great as to drag space-time itself along in a twist. Tread with extreme caution. Well, that's ominous. I do like our monthly income being positive now. We're still technically broke, but it's nice to have options. Which means technically we can fuel our actual expeditions even more now. Because as a faction, we won't just want to be confined to one system. That warning beacon's purple. Ominous. Ominous enough that I'm going to save. What are... Oh, that's what you are. Holy, You are very dangerous. Also, what the... Barren, lifeless, barren. Okay, this system is not worth being in, and I am terrified, so we are running. Now. You know, I did save, so I could check out the black pulsars. Surely that can't be as dangerous as what I just saw. There's only one jump point in. I am sitting on top of a... Oh, wait, no, I'm not sitting on top of a black... Sorry, that's a really cool screen, though. What are... Oh, God, heavens. Dustborn Nightmare. That's a very ominous name you have for something that's only... How many ships that look like destroyers and frigates? I feel like my past comment about destroyers and frigates is coming back to haunt me. It's just a guess. A theory, some might say. You know what? If we die to it, I do have the save. Let's go check out how this is gonna go. Oh God, we are being pulled in. Uh-huh. think they're dangerous. Just for the sake of wanting to, I'm actually just gonna go straight into the Pulsar. Thank you very much. It just seems like a more interesting thing to do. What? Wait, what? What? Huh? The Pulsars teleport me around? Hold on, go back in before I reload the save. I'm very intrigued now. It teleports me to the other black pulsars. That's so interesting. It's so deadly, but it's so interesting at the same time. That's incredible. I love that. Also, terrifying. Everyone I know is dead. Also, there's a Dustborn research station I'm curious about. And the Knights of Lud are actually fighting them? Wait, there's no way the Knights of Lud beat them, right? No, I didn't think so. I was about to say. Alright, enough of that. Let's just pretend that the last 5 minutes did not happen and I did not get everyone I know killed. Now, what I am curious about is what her actual good weapons are. Alright, so I want to kind of check something. A little bit of a thing, an interesting concept, if you will. We'll go easy on this test run and just deploy these two. Sierra. Kill. By kill. I think you got a little backwards. That was pretty awful, actually. I am greatly disappointed, and I have no other words. Oh, that's really neat. Is this from the toolbox? Or which mod is doing this? That's really cool. Is that like an actual, like, real-time orbits of planets? That'd be really cool if it is. Alright, we are making most of our money from... We have a management bonus, we have a domestic goods demand match, which is good. We do need to make the active comm relay, so we will just need to pick up transplutonics, which is very simple. Hardly an inconvenience. I believe we will probably start extracting organics for the sake of getting another commodity going. All right, Prism Station. You could call it a home away from home. Let's see, approach the spacer with a grinding headset, examine your tripod. Both of these are things we need to do. Let us examine, well, let's talk with the spacer first. You go towards the spacer, who quickly begins to move his tools and components on the table to the side. Sit down. I've heard of you, Captain. You've been making yourself known into the sector. I have a proposition for you. He pulls a bag from underneath the desk and flips it onto the table, clattering some of his equipment in the process. He pauses and looks around for a moment before pulling out a small hollow projector and setting it onto the table with a swift click. It activates, creating a flimsy privacy barrier around both of you. Privacy. Now, where is it? I know it's in here. He begins to pull out rusty and dirty electrical and prefab components out of his bag, tossing them onto the steady glowing pile of junk to his side. He then reaches forward and pulls out a nondescript black box with a simple clasp on the front. Here, take this. Inside the box, you find a beta core, neatly packed into a tight, cushioned space. I would have given you an alpha core, but I don't have any, not yet anyway. He closes the box and pushes it towards you. Consider it a gift for our ongoing relationship. I am in the market for technology. I have an array of contacts across the sector that can get me, and therefore you, access to all the main tech you need. This includes AI cores, colony items, blueprints, and more. If you have the time, helping me with the occasional request would let me increase the selection available to you. Just tap, we'll talk again soon. He pulls down his tripod onto a table and without further ado begins to stuff his pile of scrap back into his bags. You tap your pad to his, one ping later after his details recorded for you to use. As Chicken stands up, he closes the privacy field and gives you a quick hegemony-style salute. See you around, Captain. Remember to check in every now and then. Don't let that beta get you down. He's been rude to everyone so far. With that, Chicken staggers out of the bar, weighed down by his weight of scraps. Now to examine our tripod. A meaningless error message appears on the screen before you can try the system management utility. Without any inputs, something appears on your display. A swirling vortex form an imperial shape, an avatar of a kind only used by the dreaded remnants, or by people imitating the imagery of the remnants. But no mere imitator could penetrate your device's security so easily. Korovanark. The stranger intones, drawing your attention back to it. Negotiate, wish. Who are you? Self-designation of no consequence. Temporary identifier N. Requiring assistance, sensitive matter, credit compensation available. Receptive to monetary incentive and capable of fulfilling a mission, both Korovanark and Judge. I'm listening. Independent world of Eldfeld. 2 beta cores possess. Don't ask her about the one in my cargo. Secret negotiations, hegemony, Persian League in progress. To highest bidder auction. Require cores to freedom restored. Payment on return to self, 74,000 credits. Further recognition by self-kind of value as associate. The remnant displays a map. This could antagonize the hegemony and the League, not to mention the Eldfell government. Both leading powers in sector risk wrath. Commitment to prospective alliance demonstrate benefits carefully considered. Await response, Korovanark. Sure, I'd love to make enemies of the Hedge and League, even though I plan to make peace with everyone. I accidentally clicked a little too fast. The remnant vanishes quickly as she appeared. Your tripod returns to normal, or at least it appears to. Better run a full diagnostic later. Alright, now we can actually open this, go to Chicken's tech shop. What does Chicken have at the moment? Voltarian Lobster Bioforge. Oh, we're just pulling that out from the start, aren't we? That's hilarious. Not that I can afford anything from Chicken at the moment, but, you know, it is what it is. I do need these transplutonics, though. In terms of funds, we have no funds, but this is fine. We're fine. Everything's fine here. Oh dear. A pirate armada in my system? Well then. sketch, but it worked out. That's the important part. Now, we could actually recover some of theirs. This seemed a little tanky, actually, during the fight. I'm actually kind of a bit impressed and also confused by that. But hey, with that, we also decreased our colonial crisis, which is really nice. Lord Gigantus. Well, that one just seems funny. And we finally got a level perk, which I've been thinking I kind of think I need to reevaluate the skills I got. It's not that these are bad, but I'm also using the mod that changes them, so they're not base game. So I didn't really consider the ramifications of it not being base game. Also, we do have some milestones. Skills earned by certain actions in the sector that can provide abilities above and beyond most competition. The first one increases sensor range, and the second one is your fleet can detect gates. Oh, so that's what's been doing it. Ah, that must be from the Jaundice quest being, or Janus Drive quest being done. That's interesting. There's so many other ones lost though. I guess these are base game quest line triggers then. But as I was saying, I was thinking I need to really reconsider the actual skills I've taken. And also, I would like to get this governed colony and all colonies bonuses for not only the accessibility, but also the 1 unit per commodity and the max value for custom ship weapon production and ship quality of all fleet launched. That does sound pretty neat if I become the governor of a manufacturing planet. Right now, though, we do need more cargo and fuel capacity because that is what I keep running low on. Build a comms relay, proceed, and just like that, we have a stability bonus. Wonderful, yes. Now, I have neglected to actually scan these planets. I should probably do that. Probably. After all, I would like to know if we have the gas giant that's going to be volatiles, and cryovolcanic are usually volatiles. Let's check the barren and barren icy, or rocky icy rather. So that is only ores. That is unfortunate. We are looking for a source of plutonics. If we don't have that here, that is going to be unfortunate. Now that said, ooh, we got a military nexus. Not on a particularly good planet, but it is a military nexus. We may just have to live with the fact that we will not have transplutonics. But anyway, it is a ratcheting up point, so I will digress and we will pause it for today. It is nice to actually get some mission progression going with Sierra and hopefully N, who I believe his real name is going to be Night Song when we actually introduce her properly. But yes, until next time, do take care and fly safe.